Today on the Realm Wars network, witness the brutal Ironjaws clash with the seductive Hedonites of Slaanesh. The unstoppable Ironsunz war clan, with their massive brutes and Maw-grunters, faces off against the sensual allure of Slaanesh's followers. Brace yourselves for a battle of raw power against irresistible temptation. The battle plan for today is the Pulse. The Pulse features 4 objectives, where one is activated in the second battle round, which will then move across the map in the following rounds, shifting the focus of the battle to follow its course. The Ironsunz are back on the channel. With no change to the army from the last game, the infamous Megaboss, with his trusted destroyer axe, leads 2 reinforced units of brutes into battle. 2 Maw-grunters deliver heavy-hitting charges to leave no doubt that this army is all about putting out lots of hurt.
More crumpin', more fighting, more looting.
With their god still imprisoned, a keeper of secrets rises as a pretender for godhood. And this one brought big friends. Glutos, the lord of gluttony, and Shalaxi Hellbane, the monarch of the hunt, throw their support behind the pretender. This very large trio will be a challenge for anything in close combat, while they are followed by 3 units of Blissbarb archers for fast and deadly ranged support. Flanking them is a single unit of fiends in a very compact army. The Orcs field 2 battle regiments and therefore finish deploying before the Hedonites, who are at 4 drops. The Orcs let the Hedonites go first. No primal dice are generated. The battle tactic is surround and destroy. The Megaboss and Shalaxi show heroic leadership. The Keeper of Secrets casts Mystic Shield on herself. The Hedonites complete their battle tactic and score 3 points. In a very measured first turn, the Hedonites take one objective to score the maximum of 3 points in the first turn on this battle plan. The Fiends on the far side hope to draw some attention to themselves, while in the centre, a solid defensive position is set up. One primal dice is generated. The battle tactic is to intimidate the invaders. The Tuskboss shows heroic leadership, and it is Shalaxi's finest hour. The Warchanters buff the damage of the brute units with violent fury. The Crown of Dark Secrets will reduce the attacks of the central brute unit if they get within 6 inches of the Keeper. The Megaboss uses mighty destroyers to move the Tuskboss and the Grunters in the hero phase. The Tuskboss activates Fast Stun for another hero phase move, taking him into enemy territory.
Should have painted 'em lads red.
The Fiends redeploy for 2 inches. The pigs of different sizes charge the alluring fiends and wipe them out. The Orcs complete their battle tactic and score 3 points. The Orcs clear their left flank of enemies and push their now buffed and angry brute frontline forward to keep their options open in turn 2. The Ironjaws win the initiative, but feel confident to give the turn away. This allows them to designate the rightmost objective as the Pulse, where they control the board. The battle tactic is the Grand Feast, where the Hedonites have to generate 12 depravity points this turn. It is the Keeper's finest hour, as she is expected to deliver these depravity points. The Megaboss shows heroic leadership for another command point. Glutos attempts to half the movement of an enemy unit with crippling famishment, but is unbound. The Keeper casts Mystic Shield and Flaming Weapon on herself. Shalaxi casts Refine Senses to improve her hit and wound rolls by 1. Glutos finishes the spellcasting with the Ether Void Pendulum, which deals 1 damage to the Brutes. The Ragers redeploy backwards. The Pretender General makes use of her battle trait and commands all archer units to run with at the double and to all-out attack in the shooting phase. The first bliss barbs in the back can only reach the Brutes and shoot 2 of them. The other 2 units shoot the Ragers who are in cover, but still take out 4 of the 6. Glutos shoots, but fails to hit. Glutos charges the untouched Brutes. Shalaxi and the Keeper head into the central unit. A dark temptation by the Keeper kills another Brute. The Keeper is selected to be the euphoric killer and can therefore generate depravity. She also activates excess of violence on herself, enabling a second activation this phase. Glutos starts off the fighting and deals 10 wounds to the Brutes. The central Brutes see their end coming and attack the Keeper and still deal 3 damage to her, despite being debuffed. Shalaxi goes next, and the mighty assassin fails to hit anything. The right Brutes pile into Glutos, but deal only 2 damage. The Keeper kills all but 1 Brute, which denies her to pile into the heroes behind the Brutes. She can reach 1 Warchanter with her 3-inch range claws, which kills him and the last Brute. The Ragers show inspiring presence to pass their battle shock test. The Hedonites complete their battle tactic and score 3 points. The Hedonites generate 23 depravity points, debuffing all enemies' hit rolls by 1. Reveling in their opponent's pain, the greater demons break through the Orcish front line while Glutos is anchoring their flank. A good turn, but will the delivered pain be enough, or will the tide of suffering turn on the Hedonites themselves? The battle tactic is Datsar turf now, where the Orcs need to have 2 units in the centre of the battlefield by the end of the turn. 2 primal dice are generated. The Tuskboss uses mighty destroyers to move in the hero phase. Glutos declares his finest hour, and the Megaboss shows heroic leadership. Shalaxi dispels the pendulum. The Shaman uses all primal dice to cast Basham Ladz and makes it unbindable. So all orcs around him gain +1 to wound rolls. The last Warchanter encourages violent fury to the Megaboss. The Megaboss calls the Warchanter sounds the Gettin' beat to let the grunters roll 3 dice for their charge. The Tuskboss charges the Keeper in the back, but takes 2 wounds from the nearby Bliss Barbs, unleashing hell on him. The Maw-grunta charges Shallaxi. The boss and the Ragers charge the greater demons as well.
Oh, the brutish clamour of the orcs, so charming in its lack of refinement. Perhaps you'd appreciate a lesson in finesse, though I doubt your brutish mind could comprehend such elegance.
Oi, ya flashy git. Ya call that a dance? I've seen grots with more grace in their wobbling. We'll show ya the real meaning of pain, not your fancy twirls and whispers.
The Tuskboss opens combat against the Keeper, and despite being at full momentum deals only 2 damage. The Keeper retaliates against the Megaboss and takes him out. The Megaboss is dead fighty and gets to fight Shallaxi before he is removed from play. The boss activates the Destroyer artifact for 4 damage per attack and deals 11 wounds to her. The Maw-grunta activates next and finishes off Shallaxi. The Brutes get to go next into Glutos and deal 4 more damage. Glutos fights the Grunters and deals 5 damage, which lets him heal these wounds with Gorge on excess. The Grunters fail to deal damage to Glutos. The Ragers attack the Keeper for 4 wounds. For completing their battle tactic and controlling the pulse, the Ironjaws score 6 victory points. A turn that couldn't be more orky. Rushing across the board, slamming into their foes, they manage to deal significant damage to the demons, though Glutos is holding out strong. Scoring maximum points gives them a big lead. But the Ironjaws really want to win the next initiative roll to finish the combats and not face a sky filled with arrows from the Bliss Barbs. Mork smiles on his boys as they win the initiative roll yet again. The battle tactic is led into the Maelstrom. It is the Tuskboss' finest hour, while Glutos fails heroic leadership. The Tuskboss receives the damage buff from Violent Fury. The Maw-grunta charges the Keeper. The Shaman and Warchanter charge Glutos. The Tuskboss fails to roar the Keeper of Secrets. The Keeper roars the Tuskboss, who then takes out the Pretender God. The Brutes deal 6 damage to Glutos. The Lord of Gluttony splits his attacks, takes out the last Warchanter and deals 2 wounds to the Tuskboss. Glutos gorges on the excess around him again and heals 6 wounds again. For completing their battle tactic and controlling the pulse, the Ironjaws score 6 victory points. Only Glutos stands in the way of the green tide, but with his healing he is basically untouched. The orcs take home maximum points, and maybe that is enough to carry them to victory. The battle tactic is reprisal to avenge the fallen pretender general. Glutos fails heroic leadership, and the Tuskboss succeeds. Glutos casts Mystic Shield and the Ether Void Pendulum to affect several of the bunched-up orc units. The pendulum takes out a Rager, deals 1 damage to the Maw-grunta and 3 to the Tuskboss. Very underwhelming. The Blissbarbs open fire and take out both of the oversized pigs. Glutos shoots as well, but deals no damage. The Lone Rager uses the Ironsunz ability to charge in the opponent's turn, getting a 9-inch charge into the Blissbarbs. Having only a single command point available, Glutos makes the hard choice to unleash hell on the Rager to protect his archers instead of buffing his defense later. Blissbarbs kill the Rager. The Lord of Gluttony fights and deals 12 damage to the Brutes, healing himself back to full in the process. The remaining orcs bash Glutos for 5 damage. The Hedonites complete their battle tactic and score 4 points. Thinning out the orcish forces, the tide starts to turn. Glutos seems invincible to the orcs, while hails of arrows spread the pain. The Hedonites win initiative into turn 4, which spells the end to the orcs. Facing destruction under another turn of fire from the archers, the Ironjaws concede the game. Thank you for watching the Realm Wars Network.
Fine, fine. Yeah, dance might be all twirly and shiny, but you can't deny the power in a good old-fashioned mush pit. You might be a prancing demon, but I reckon I've had enough of this dancing business. Next time, though, we'll see who's still standing after the stomping.